What's up, Pitch IQ? I haven't done one of these videos in quite a long time, so I figured I would get one out to y'all. And it's another one of our scouting series where we take you through on how to break down a hitter in real time, especially a dangerous hitter like this one, which is Hunter Goodman of the Colorado Rockies. And in this April 24th at bat, he's facing Freddy Peralta of the New York Mets, who's coming off a bunch of good seasons with the Milwaukee Brewers, signs in the offseason. So we got a power arm versus a power hitter here, and I thought it was a good opportunity to take you through a process. So, a couple things before we go into swing mechanics and foot positioning, hand positioning, and following a pretty basic process. Is you would come into a game and you would hopefully have some background on this hitter, and some of the background here is he's got a 900 plus OPS, damage type hitter, low average, high damage, low walk. So he's at a 7 or 8% walk rate, 6% for his career. So he's going up there swinging, and he's chilling at about a 30% strikeout rate. I think it's about 37% so far this year. So this is a young hitter. And he's 26 years old, but he's only got 2 years in the big leagues. But he's a youngish hitter with a ton of pop, playing at altitude. Although in this particular example, he's in New York. But he's playing at altitude. Like, this guy's trying to go up there and hit bombs. It's like kind of an all or nothing approach. It's like basically a two outcome. It's like homer or punchy, for the most part. And so when you kind of go into facing a hitter like this, a dangerous hitter, got to have that in the back of your mind. Like, this guy's not going to get cheated. He's going up there with a big swing, and and he wants to take you yard on every single pitch. So we have him from set up from two different angles here at front foot strike right there. And first pitch here is a 93-mile-an-hour four seam. So right at major league average. It's not super high velo or anything. And Peralta tries to climb the ladder with the first pitch. So let's get into it here. Let's take a look at the swing, the mechanics, and the setup. So the simple three-step process is we're always checking the feet first. Okay, where do the feet start, and where do they end up? Okay, so he's can't really see it from this side angle, but he is pretty neutral in terms of shoulder width apart. He's not too spread out or anything, and he's set up slightly open with that left foot, a little bit open. So he's trying to get his right eye onto the ball. He's a right-handed thrower. He's a catcher, first baseman, so he's a right-handed thrower. He wants to get that. He wants to get that right eye in there, whether he knows it or not. And that's just my take. So slightly open. Get the hips open, hands are neutral at setup, and he's pretty much square and pretty well balanced in general if you just take a look at it overall, right? So feet first, open, and where does he start with his feet? Where does he end with his feet? And slightly closed, but you could make an argument that he's basically equal, but he's not equally distributed. You can see he's out on his front foot. His weight is forward, and that makes sense because this is the type of guy, like we were just talking about, based on the stats, like he's not going to get cheated, right? This guy's coming up here hacking. He wants to get that front foot down, and he wants to launch. So guys like that, especially when they have leg lift timing mechanisms like this, like look at how high that leg lift is. He is trying to stay over his backside. He's been doing drills for years to maintain to that load so he can get off of his front foot, and it's still a challenge for him. As you can see that weight coming forward onto this front foot right here. It's a little bit more apparent in this one where his butt goes out a little bit, that weight comes forward. So that tells me something. What does that tell me? It tells me that he might be susceptible to an off-speed pitch down here later in the count. And we will take a look at that here in a minute, okay? So feet start a little bit open. Leg lift timing mechanism. Lands basically neutral in terms of an east-west move, but his weight is definitely forward as he's fighting himself. He wants to stay back, but he has a tough time doing that, okay? Now let's go to the hands. So the feet are the first part of this process. Hands are second part of this process. They start pretty much center of the body and square, right around shoulder height, He's not high, he's not low. Where do the hands go from there from setup? Do they move? He gets into a little bit of a hand tuck there, and then he gets to a pretty good position. I know there's a little bit of a loop there during his load, but where he ends up here at front foot strike, pretty good spot to be. Okay, so he's not giving away too much from a pitcher's perspective. He's not giving away too much. And then the pitch is high. It's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone, so he doesn't have to do too much. That's right where his hands are, and he can just come through with a pretty flat plane with his bat. And obviously he's going to be lifting to go up and get that pitch. But for the most part, he stays on plane, right? He sets this bat path pretty early. Right there. And his bat stays on this plane for a pretty long time. Okay. Now, if I'm pitching against this guy, or if you're pitching against this guy, you're saying to yourself, oh, wow, he's chasing a fastball up out of the zone right out of the first pitch. Well, yeah, his first pitch chase percentage, his first pitch swing percentages are high. His overall swing percentage is high, which is all information you would have coming in. So yeah, we're not trying to throw him in the zone early. Let's see if we can get him to chase something early on. Maybe we'll run into an out here early on. So that's what Peralta does. Challenges him with a fastball to the top of the zone right out of the chute. It wasn't his premium velocity. But does he beat into the spot? Maybe. Looks like he's pretty much on time. Although he did file that ball straight back. So now if he actually was really on time to this, he would have hit a homer to center field. But you can see his bat path came underneath ever so slightly, and he's slightly late. Maybe not late from like a timing, but he's late to get to that pitch to the top of the zone. He clips underneath it, fouls the ball straight back. Now, there's two ways of looking at this. You could say to yourself, oh man, he was right on that, right? You see that foul ball. Foul ball recognition is always part of your decision making for the next pitch. You could say to yourself, oh man, he fouled that ball straight back. He was well timed. Well, was he? I would argue that he was late, because if he wasn't late, he would be hitting the ball to center field. Instead, he was just underneath it. So you can make an argument that he's slightly late. All right. See his follow through. Where does it take him? Look at his feet again, taking him. Now, in real time during the game, you might not see that, but you might see his reaction right here. How at this point, you're watching the foul ball, but you're trying to get a glimpse of his body language after he swings. And is he falling all over the plate? Is he coming out of his shoes? Yeah, you could argue that he's coming out of his shoes. And then what does he do after he swings? Does he look back out? He looks down in frustration, like, damn, I just missed that. See that head right there? These are all poker tells that you can use to your advantage. He's saying to himself, oh, damn, I just missed it. But you know better than that as the pitcher. You know he didn't just miss it. You know that he was ever so slightly late. Now, does that mean we throw this exact same pitch on the next one? Probably not. But it's something to keep in mind, especially once you watch his body language here coming off the pitch. Damn, I just missed that one, right? Well, maybe so, maybe not. So here's second pitch of the at-bat here. And you might say to yourself, well, this is kind of a waste of a pitch. He's trying to throw him a changeup, which is one of Peralta's bread and butters. Right on right changeup right here. And he almost hits him with it. And you can say to yourself, well, that was kind of a waste. But was it? I mean, every single offer that we give the hitter is another piece of information that we can use. It's not exactly where he wanted it. Peralta's trying to throw this changeup down and away, maybe get a chase, maybe try to get a ground ball, have him hit something into the ground over here, hit a fly ball, weak fly ball. He obviously gets inside the pitch, pushes it. And luckily for Peralta, if you're going to hit somebody, you don't want to hit them with an 88-mile-an-hour changeup. You want to get 96 miles an hour where you can really do some influencing in. But Lo and behold, this pitch does influence him a little bit because you can watch the reaction. Jumps out of the way, almost hits him, and then we'll see on the next pitch what kind of results or what kind of reaction that gets out of him based on his or his foot positioning on the next pitch. Here's third pitch of the at bat. This one is a 95-mile-an-hour four-seamer for a called strike. It's worth noting at this point, you're halfway through the AB, or well, you don't know that you're halfway through the AB at this point. You just know that it's the next pitch, but you're checking his feet. You just brushed him back with a mistake changeup. Did he move further away off the plate? Or his feet a little bit further open? Did his hands change? Is he giving you anything pre-pitch to let you know, to give you a little bit of an advantage here? And you could make the argument that you might have influenced him enough where he's maybe open a little bit more, maybe not. He seems like he's a little bit further off. It's a good time to go away, maybe. And I think that's what Peralta does here with his heater. Leg lift timing mechanism, hunched over there, tries to go away. Comeback four-seamer, kind of middle away. Pretty good pitch for Goodman to take a crack at again. A little bit surprising that he didn't. And maybe the previous pitch, that changeup that got away, had a little bit more effect on him than one would be led to believe. Fourth pitch of the AB. Going to try to go back away again. He just froze him on a fastball. Where's Goodman? Looks like he actually moved a little bit closer to the plate. Now, is he doing this on purpose or not, or is this just perceived by us? Maybe I'm just making something up, but either way, like, perception is reality. It seems to me that he is now looking away, which is interesting because this is exactly the same pitch that Peralta is going to try to make. A little slight comeback to the outside corner. This one's 97 miles an hour. He's going for his premium velo here. 4 miles an hour faster than the first pitch of the at-bat. Goes up. And this time, he looks like he was out in front of it slightly. Even though the foul ball goes this way, which would suggest that he's late, but he's not. He got his foot down on time. The other thing it's telling you, so this is to the top rail. Another thing it's telling us is that this dude loves the fastballs up near his eyes. He loves anything up here that he can see with both of his eyes, the right one, especially because he wants to clear early, get that bat around, and get that barrel to the ball and let that thing fly. Because he's got whip, he's got buggy whip. He is not getting cheated. He is trying to hit homers. And once again, you could see it. This time he's stepping out over the plate. This is the tell. He's looking out over the plate again. So that changeup in got him frozen away, and now he said to himself, I'm not letting another heater get by me. No shot. I'm hacking at any straight pitch that I see, and I'm not going to get cheated. Okay, a little bit of a mistake. I don't think he was trying to go up there, but the ball rode enough. He had enough velocity on it to beat him with the pitch. Okay, so we're going to the final pitch of the at-bat right here. What do you guys think we should be throwing? Would you throw another top rail fastball? Would you go inside with the heater, maybe try to influence him? Remember, it's a 1-2 count. We still have plenty of time to do some influencing. Would you bounce something down here in the dirt? Would you try to paint another fastball away? Would you throw that changeup down and in? There's really a lot of options here as we head into the final pitch of this at-bat. And here we are, the final pitch of the at-bat. So there it is. There's the pitch, halfway home, right? This is the decision point that the hitter has to make. Now, you guys don't have the benefit of knowing what pitch this is going to be. Is that a fastball up? Is that a changeup that's going to run inside? Is that a fastball at the top rail? Is that a curveball that comes down like this? Is that a slider that's going to run off the side of the plate? to the away edge. Either way, what Peralta does really well here is right at this point right here at the decision point, which is about 2/3 of the way, right when the ball gets over this grass changing to dirt, right inside this hitter circle thing here. That's the decision point that the hitter has to make a decision on whether or not he's going to swing. And what Peralta does really well is he presents the pitch like a fastball up. Okay. Now, knowing what we know, this guy loves fastballs to the top rail. He's presenting him another one, the third one on the at bat, a fastball up in the zone. That's what he's presenting him. He knows he wants it. But hitters being who they are, they can't help themselves. They are who they are. They got to the big leagues for a reason. He's a front foot, all or nothing, coming out of his shoes type of hitter. We know he's got the high strikeout rate, low walk. This guy is not up there getting cheated. All we have to do is present a fastball in a delicious spot in his honey hole and just have it not be there for him once he makes his decision. And that's exactly what happens. Curveball out in front, left foot peeling off, hips open, ass out. Not quite ass out, but he's definitely fooled. Swing and a miss. Takes the exact same swing, right? So in other words, like he has a grooved path. This guy's taking the exact same approach on every pitch, no matter what. Feet are open. Hands are medium, if you will. Neutral is a better word. Hands are neutral. Leg lift timing mechanism. Bends over. Gets spread out pretty good. Weight to the front foot. They are who they are. If you see him getting to his front foot at any point during the at bat, that tells you that this is available when you need to go to it. Now, you might not want to throw it if nobody's on base and you can give up a solo homer and you don't no damage done. You're up 7-0, no problem. But with man on first and second in a tighter game, you might want to go down here by presenting this pitch, that curveball up, trying to get him to chase more often than in a situation where you're not going to get hurt. This is a great example of pitch presentation, of going to the spot where we know the hitter can't handle, and setting it up by offering him pitches that he liked early in the count, and then presenting that same pitch later on, and just having it not be there when it's crunch time. Top rail fastball? Nope, not a top rail fastball. It is a curveball. So a lot of things to learn here in this at bat. Hunter Goodman's good hitter, dangerous hitter. Freddy Peralta is obviously a good pitcher as well, with weapons. And these are interesting matchups to watch. So I encourage you, next time you're watching a major league game, watch what the pitcher's doing, watch what the hitter's trying to do, check out his feet, check out his hands, check out his approach, watch the foul balls, look for any tells, because it is a poker game, it is a chess match at all times, and there's things to learn from every single AB. But remember the process: feet first, hands second, swing third, foul balls fourth, body language fifth.